And once I started smoking crack, that was it. I was out of control. I had a house fire in my hometown, and my daughter's there. We lost everything. I didn't have the wits enough about me, even though I didn't have renter's insurance, to find a way through the landlord's insurance to try and recoup some of the stuff that we lost. And we lost quite a bit.
So it's like a total loss.
Right. And because my family is well known in the town that I was in, there was a lot of people who donated monies towards me and my daughter, and even a family gave us a little house they had built in the back for their kids so we would have a place to stay. Now we were renting from them. I smoked up every bit of the money that was given to me. And eventually I was put out of that house because I would the traffic. People in and out, and I was leaving my daughter there to go hang out. Like I would leave there, leave her sleeping, and go to the bars so I can do, you know, what I needed to do. And now at this time, like I said, she's about 10 years old.
Right.
So eventually they put me out, and I cried like a baby, like why? You know, what am I gonna do? And eventually I moved back in with my parents, and well, I think I was what? If she's 10, I must have been at least 20, 21, or 30, 31, somewhere thereabouts. And I moved back in my parents, and before you know it, I live in a small town, and there's a lot of people that would come from out of town to bring the drugs in, because small towns just don't have drugs. They do, but they don't have the quantity or the...
Have drugs will travel.
Right.
You can't get to us, we'll come to you.
Right. And so then I knew all of them. Some of them were relatives. Some of them were people that I just knew. And I became a runner, you know, so I could get high. I became the house where you could come and get high. I was in a relationship with a woman that she was constantly in and out of jail. Her house was the crack house. They could come stay there. They could come cut it up there. And wow, you know, I was in it. Here I am, you know. Where's my daughter? Well, my daughter's with whoever. My daughter's with my parents. My daughter's with my sister. I mean, throughout all of this, I'm kind of fortunate that I had so much family that they would take care of her. And eventually, the crossing the line was I totally had no responsibility, or took no responsibility for my daughter, for myself, for my actions. I still was working. I was barely coming to work on time, and I'm working night shift. It just got to the point where, you know, my checks, people were coming to pick me up on payday because I owed them. I didn't even get the check cash. I had no money. I had times would go to the store, I bought a brand new coat, not more than 20 minutes later after I took my first hit, I sold the coat. Brand new coat. And it was just that kind of incessant, you know, stuff.
Yeah.
And before you know it, I got busted going to a house that was being raided. Small town, my name's in the paper, you know, and she's crying and going to school crying because now everybody knows her mother, you know. My parents, you know, embarrassment that I was to them. And, you know, generally my name was in the paper for the athlete that I was. So everybody knew me as the athlete, you know, there was good things happening. So when my name got in the paper for the bad things, I was totally self-disgusted and embarrassed. Again, for my family and for my daughter.
So is that when you stopped, when you got busted?
No. When I got busted, I of course lied and said I wasn't there for what they thought I was there for, and so they really didn't have anything to charge me with, so they gave me a jaywalking misdemeanor thing. And of course, the embarrassment, is in hindsight, the embarrassment and the fact that I was no longer in the paper for good things drove me to drink more. You know what I mean? So I was now becoming the person that drank every day to just deal with the fact that I'm now an embarrassment, or that my parents and my family had to see me the way that I am, that I wasn't the way that I had presented myself before, which was in a good light. Well, as time went on, okay, I'm still... You know, Erica now is probably moving and pushing more towards, I don't know, 11, and I really get popped, and I was labeled with 3 other people as the drug kingpins of this little town. Now I didn't drive a car. I didn't own a house. I didn't have any money in my pocket.
Wrong place, wrong time.
Yeah. Well, most I had in my pocket at best was a stem all the time. I had these pair of sneakers that had like a little slot, and I always carried my stem in there just in case. Just in case something would come along or somebody would come along. I took pride in knowing that I got high with the high society people, the judge's son, the city assessor's uncle. You know what I mean? I took pride in that. How sick is that? I took pride in the fact that me and the mayor's son would come to my crack house and close off everything and not let anybody in, and it was just us. I took pride in that versus being the runner of sorts that would be on the streets. But I also did that too. I did that too, hunting people up. I stole money off bars to go get high. Did all that stuff because I needed to feed the need. I was no better than anybody else, you know. It came to a point where they started to ban me from the bars. And one of the bars in particular happened to be like a sports bar, and I played sports, and I even smoked with the owner's son. He would always come to me looking because he wanted to be discreet. And he barred me from his bar because of who I had become. And I was so angry that he barred me. Well, why wouldn't he? I was stealing off his bars. I was bringing that shit in his bar. Why wouldn't he? But I was upset. That's how sick my thinking was. Anyways, that time, eventually the drug kingpin happened. It was 1992. I got popped. So Erica's running about 11. And I was in jail for about 20 days. Now at this point, I'm really full blown at all the drinking because I'm, drinking more because I can't deal with the fact that I'm not the person that everybody used to see me as. And Erica was at the house when we got popped. And I was down at the bottom of the stairs and she was upstairs and she had the guns drawn, and that was like devastating to me. Now it's like every day I gotta go out because I can't deal with the thoughts of, are they gonna take my kid? Am I gonna go to prison? I just didn't have it in me to deal with that stuff. So my drinking definitely was off the chain. Those that would talk to me because they thought I was a narc because I got out early, we would get high, but it was really rare. So it was like I was a lush for 2 years. I mean, totally wasted, gotta get drunk, can't deal with the feelings, can't deal with the emotions, out of control. And in those times, again, is when I would just take Erica to have somebody watch it with a 6-pack or somebody to watch it with a couple of joints. Because I needed to get out. I needed the escape. I couldn't deal with my daughter or anything else. Eventually, they sentenced me to 5 years probation for attempted possession. In that time, it was with the 5 years probation, I had to do outpatient treatment. And doing outpatient treatment, I had to go there once a week. I went there, or once or twice a week, I can't even remember. I went there, thought I was telling them everything they wanted to hear. Yes, I only drink once or twice.